Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the dragons bite. By Ben Wilkins. Long ago, caught between the waves of the endless sea and the great bay, there was a tall rock masquerading as an island. At the top of this tall rock was a very tall tower. And at the top of this very tall tower was a bedroom with quite tall ceilings. 3 royal children slept there at the top of the world. Correction, there at the top of the world, 3 royal children did not sleep, even though it was past their bedtime. The prince proclaimed himself king of the pirates and sang sea chanties at the top of his lungs, while his older sister, playing the role of the mermaid queen, sang counter melodies to drive the pirates away from her underwater home. The baby thought all this was very funny, so naturally she sang both songs at once. Okay, guys, it's time to pirates, no, mermaids, pirates, mermaids, goo goo gaga. Quiet down. Quiet! We don't want to sleep. We want to stay up and play forever. If you won't go to sleep, then I'll have to get you-know-what. No, what? The dragons. No, please don't call the dragons. We'll go to sleep, we promise. Okay, no more singing now, got it? We won't. Dragoo? And with that, the 3 royal children tried to go to sleep. Truly, they tried their royal best. They shut their eyes, they counted their sheep, but they just couldn't sleep. It was the baby who gave up first, bouncing her feet to a rhythm only she could hear. What are you doing, baby? This made the prince laugh, and soon he had joined in, tapping away. Be quiet, I'm trying to sleep, demanded the older princess, who tried to follow the rules, but was secretly pleased by her siblings' antics. It didn't take long after that, I can tell you, for things to get out of hand. There was talking, singing, shouting, jumping on beds, jumping off beds, bouncing off walls, crying, crashing, thrashing, laughing, playing. If anything, it was even louder than before. But I know what you were thinking. What about the dragons? Weren't they afraid that their father and king would call the dragons if they did not go to sleep? Perhaps the children had simply forgotten the dragons, as they had forgotten their promise. But probably they just didn't believe that their sometimes grumpy, but overall quite nice and lovable King Dad would ever be so cruel as to turn dragons on them, so why worry? Quiet! Do you want me to call the dragons? You are supposed to be asleep. It's almost my bedtime and I'm the king. The king seemed serious, and so the children, for the moment, were worried. No, please don't get the dragons. We promise we'll be good. Okay then, go to sleep. Slam. So the royal children really tried to go to sleep once again. They tried, but not for very long. La la la, I'm singing so loudly, la la la, just hold still, ha ha. That's it, I'm getting the dragons. What? Come on, Daddy, please. Nope, it's too late for that. How could you do this to us? Easily. What kind of daddy would feed his own kids to dragons? A tired one. I'm telling Queen Mommy on you. Go ahead! The children huddled together and listened to their father stomp, stomp, stomp down the long, long staircase that led all the way down that tall, tall tower, down through the throne room, the kitchens, the armory and guard rooms, the sewing room, the larders, the pantries, the treasure rooms and storehouses, and finally into the caves of the mountain, deep below the tower, right down to the sea. He wouldn't really do it, right? No way, he loves us too much, and besides, dragons aren't even real. Dragoo, yay! And yet, real or not, they had heard a distinctly dragonish roar. It filled the whole tower and shook the royal children to their bones. Worse still, 2 more reptilian bellows came to answer the first, making at least 1 beast for each of them. Roar, roar, roar! The roaring stopped, and all was quiet. Perhaps their father had only been pretending after all. Whew! No, Dragoo? Clomp, click, clomp, click. But no, now they heard something climbing the stairs, something with heavy talons clicking and clomping on the stone, and a shimmering, rattling, shinging that could only be the sound of scales scraping against the wall. Then came the sound of heavy breathing, only was less like breathing and more like the rumble of faraway thunder, or the whoosh, crackle of a bonfire. The sounds got louder and louder and louder as the dragons came up the stairs, closer and closer and closer, Clomp, click, shing, scrape, rumble, rumble, whoosh, crack, until they were right outside the door. The oldest princess grabbed her baby sister, and all three children rushed to hide under the covers. The door creaked open. Sniff, sniff. Yes, friends, the dragons were quite real after all, and they were sniff, sniff, sniffing at the edges of the bed. Clomp, click, shing, scrape, rumble, rumble, whoosh, crack, sniff, sniff, slurp, Dragoo, ha ha ha, slurp. As it turned out, their father, tired and grumpy though he was not the kind of father to send dragons to devour his children. But he was exactly the kind of father, tired and grumpy though he was, to send dragons to cuddle with his children. Good night, my prince, my princesses. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the dragons bite. But I don't think the royal children heard him, because they had all fallen fast asleep. After all, there was nothing cozier than snuggling up in the arms and talons of a warm, purring, tail-curling, scaly but still huggable, huffing and puffing friendly dragon. Rumble, rumble, snore, snort. Good night, friends. Sleep tight. Don't let the dragons bite.
Thank you for reading with Storyberries.com. Free stories for kids.